almost everyone knows that Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity while he was flying a kite in a thunderstorm. And it is by this discovery that we have electricity in almost every home in the country today. And we get this electricity through what's called an electrical outlet device. And although they're very simple in design, we usually have problems with them. And it's these problems I want to talk about. A man named Nikola Tesla had once said, "Life is and will ever be an equation incapable of solution, but it does contain certain known factors." It's these certain known factors that I want to try to help you with. Now, I cannot solve your life's problems, but we can solve the simple issue with the electrical receptacle. And these issues include a loose neutral connection, a loose or grounded hot connection, and a breaker type connection in your panel. Okay, firstly, we'll talk about the loose neutral connection. On your electrical receptacle, it has the silver screws, which is the neutral side of the receptacle. If you can grab the wire and move it like this, then you have a loose neutral wire, and this will not send your current back to the panel. So it will cause your receptacle not to work. Also, it has the wires which are made up of joints back to the electrical panel. And you need to be able to pull on each wire and make sure that it does not come loose from what's called the wire nut. And it needs to go all the way back to the panel. Now on your hot wire connection, which is your 120 volts, this would be on the colored screws, and they're usually gold plated. They're not gold plated, but they're gold in color. And it's the same as the neutral connection. You don't want to be able to grab the wire and do like this, because the loose connection on this will cause heat, and it can cause a fire, but it will usually cause the screw and the receptacle itself to burn. So you need to make sure that's tight too. And the same with the neutral connections. You have your hot wires made up in joints all the way back to the electrical panel, and just pull on them and make sure they're correct. And last but not least, you have the electrical breaker, which is in your panel, and if you have a malfunction on your receptacle, it will cause your breaker to keep tripping. You don't want to keep resetting it if it keeps tripping. First, you want to check your receptacle and your connections, and if that doesn't work, then you want to try to replace your breaker itself, because there's probably something wrong with the contacts inside of the breaker. Now, in the end, we've all had electrical connections that we've had problems with. And I hope that by me explaining this, you know a little bit more about them and how to fix them. And electricity today is a basic necessity for almost all households in America. So it is a huge advantage, and it is by that we got this through a discovery from Benjamin Franklin. And George Goebel once said, "If it wasn't for electricity, we'd all be watching TV by candlelight."